This video, I know, you are probably sick of people saying foldables are the future. Well, you're not going to get the opposite of that here. I agree with it. Yeah, let's talk about it. So, why do I agree with it, first of all? Because it's a bold statement to make that foldables are the future. They're not entirely the future. They're only part of what we can expect. You see, when we're talking about foldable electronics, you're talking about plastic display. You're talking about higher prices. You're talking about luxury here. This is a luxury product. This is not something that you can go in off the side of the street and pick up in a car phone warehouse or a phone store. No, this is not the kind. That's not what this phone's for. This phone type is not for the average consumer who's just going into a phone shop and saying, "Hey, I want the new Samsung. Hey, I want the new iPhone." This phone isn't for them. The phone for them is the iPhone SE, the Samsung Galaxy A41, the budget models. But what this phone is for the enthusiast market. People who know what they want before they are told what they want. You see, for the longest time now, we've had glass sandwiches as our phones. As phones have evolved, we have glass backs, shattered sometimes, and we have glass displays with lots of OLED technologies and Face ID technologies built in underneath the displays. We have touch to wake, but most importantly, glass displays. Now, there are some advantages to having plastic displays. You could have it in the sense that we have better durability for drop protection. But that comes with drop protection also comes with scratches. Because it's plastic, you will get a ton of scratches, no matter how careful you are with this thing. There is pre-installed screen protectors on phones like the Galaxy Z Fold 2, but they're not user replaceable. You cannot put things like a tempered glass screen protector on this thing. You cannot put things like an OtterBox case on this thing, which really you should have on this thing, or any phone for that matter. I mean, I'm a big fan of using a phone caseless, but ever since, ever since the phone got dropped, I've been using a case ever since. Not a massive proponent of using a case, but it needs to be done. And you cannot put a case on this phone, the Galaxy Z Fold 2, or any foldable, without compromise. Same with screen protectors. The big word is compromise. You get modern technologies, but at a compromise. Maybe they skip out on the processor. Maybe they skip out on an extra camera or two. Or they lock certain features out via software. This is what the drawback of foldables will be in the future. Because eventually, because of scales and laws of diminishing marginal returns and all that, eventually we will get cheaper foldables. Foldables in the $1,000 market share. And while I'm looking forward to this future, there is many a person that will not care that folds. There are many people that just will not care that they can have a bigger screen in their pocket. Because realistically, if you're talking about having a bigger display, a lot of people will just get an iPad or a laptop. A lot of people aren't just going to buy a phone and replace it. Everything else. It's just not going to happen. Now, Apple is supposedly going to be going into this market in a couple of years, possibly next year, with a smartphone designed similar to the Surface Duo. Obviously, they'll put the Apple spin on it. You can close it and have iOS on the front, and then open it up and have iPadOS. But this will not be a traditional foldable. This is going to be the foldable of the type where there's a hinge, no crease. Did I mention the crease, by the way? No, I didn't. Because that's a big drawback of foldables. Everyone who buys a foldable knows what they're getting into with the crease. And the thing about these hinges, while they're more durable, they don't give as immersive of an experience. Then again, you have to think, what will you be using the foldable for? Will you be using it to multitask and to watch videos and to, do whatever? Or do you just want something that can run 2 apps at once? Maybe play a YouTube video on one side and have the keyboard on the bottom, like a mini laptop. This is the kind of thing you need to look at before you invest in a foldable. Because while the Surface Duo is really, 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 really shoddy of a device in some circumstances, it has a good concept. It has the concept and the ability to work better than any other foldable with its technologies side. Maybe put a better camera in there. Maybe do something with the extra displays. Maybe give it some exclusive technologies. Give it stock Android. These are all little things that you can do to improve upon what you have done with the Surface Duo, Microsoft. And when we do all of what we're planning with the sense of we're planning to move foldables forward with the Z Flip, with the Motorola 5G, Razer Flip 5G, I do not think that we have a future with the glass sandwich smartphones being dominant. It's just not going to happen. The future will be dominated by the people who choose to excel and the people who choose to push the boundaries to move us forward. That is who the future is for. The future waits for nobody and no companies. So if you're a company and you're willing to put yourself out there, be the first, expand the new technologies, then other companies will get on board, and soon enough it becomes a standard, an industry standard.